Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. صلى على محمد. أما بعد فأوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله، فإنه حبل متين وعروة وثقى. صلوات. Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, first of all I advise myself for taqwa, parhezgari and piety, and then I advise all of you for the same. I had promised about 2 weeks ago that inshallah I will begin discussing this beautiful khutbah of Amir Mu'mineen, in which he had described muttaqeen, the people of taqwa. It's a masterpiece on this subject, and this is a very important subject also. As we all know that taqwa is not an option for us, it is actually an obligation. Sometime when we are studying at school, college or university, we know that these subjects are mandatory and they are important for us, and then there are certain other subjects that those are just trying to meet the ends and trying to pass and get some kind of degree in hand will not go for those subjects. We think those are for those very hard-working, very keen students. In life also, there are certain things which we will do because we have to do, and there are certain things which we know those are noble, but many of us will not go after them because we think that we don't fall in that category. We are not one of those nobles where we have to really do all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, most of the Muslims, including mu'mineen, they somehow think that this taqwa is something that everyone doesn't have to really have it. It's not something that everybody is supposed to be a muttaqi. It is for very special people. It's for people that who are really very much interested in going into the highest ranks in Jannat or in paradise. But for average believer, it's not mandatory. And then they will look around in family and community and have a handful people in their mind that about whom they think that these are people of taqwa or these are muttaqeen. Well, reality is that taqwa is not an optional subject. It is not something that if we want, then we should go for taqwa and have taqwa, but we can be content and we can be accepted without having a taqwa, just as an average Muslim. We won't be an average Muslim also if we don't have taqwa. So taqwa is an obligation, it is a requirement. And this is a target set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for each and every one of us. That every Muslim should strive hard and work hard to be a person of taqwa. And then, while we will have taqwa or people of taqwa, they have again among themselves so many categories and so many levels. So there will be people with some basic taqwa, there will be people with some higher degrees of taqwa, and then there are always higher and higher and higher levels and degrees in iman and in taqwa as well. So, this is a question which was asked from Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam by one of his companions, and I believe similar question has been asked here and there by Prophet, by other A'imma, and everyone according to the situation has explained it. There are many verses in Quran which explain what is taqwa and who are al-muttaqun, who are the people of taqwa. Then there are ahadith of Messenger of Allah, and there are many ahadith from other A'imma alayhimu salatu wassalam also explaining the taqwa and the people of taqwa. This particular explanation of Amirul Mu'mineen comes as a sermon, like as a khutbah or as a sermon or as a speech. We don't know exactly whether Amirul Mu'mineen was up to give a khutbah and he asked the question and Amirul Mu'mineen gave this as a khutbah in a big gathering, or it was a discussion. People were sitting around and this gentleman, he asked from Amirul Mu'mineen and he started giving him this answer. But this is, as I said earlier, this is the masterpiece on the subject. So, I won't read the entire khutbah word by word. I will make some selections and then inshallah I will make again very brief comments. I'm not going to get into a very detailed kind of commentary, because if I will start that, then this khutbah will continue for 1 year, and people are very quick to lose the interest if they see something is of the same nature and it is the same khutbah or the same surah or the same topic, and after listening 2, 3, 4 times, then many of them are just kind of, they lose the interest. So that's why I will try to keep it as brief as possible, and will keep it kind of very based on those selected passages of this khutbah. So number 1, Amirul Mu'mineen says, فَالْمُتَّقُونَ فِيهَا hum ahlul fadail. So, as for these muttaqeen, the people of taqwa in this dunya, hum ahlul fadail. The first comment, he says, these people of taqwa are people of distinction. They are people of distinction. They are outstanding people. Wherever they are outstanding, very distinct, and these are the people who are the people of merits and virtues. So one thing which we need to keep in mind, that people of taqwa or these muttaqeen, they are people that who are not only into ibadat or only in worship or only in ruku and sajda and tasbih and qiyam and qu'ud, as many of us we think. Yes, they are very distinguished when it comes to worship, and they worship more than anybody else, but they are not only worshipper. They are the people of distinction, they are people of honor, they are people that who are people of virtues, people of merits, hum ahlul fadail. They have many other fadail also, which makes them very special, distinguished, and outstanding. Then he explains some of those virtues and some of their those qualities. He says, "Mantiquhum as-sawab." When they speak very to the point. Their speech is to the point and it is always very accurate. When they speak on the topic, on the subject, very concisely, very precisely, very accurately, based on facts. They don't exaggerate the facts. They don't censor the facts. They don't temper the facts. Whenever they speak about anything, they speak just to the point and also very accurately. When some ulama, they went into commentary and they tried to make commentary, they say Amirul Mu'mineen picked this one thing as the first thing. The reason was that he is talking that these people of taqwa, if someone wants to train himself and somebody wants to be one of the people of taqwa, the first thing what he or she needs is to work on his or her tongue, his or her speech. Because most of the sins which we commit with our tongue. Ulama have gone into a lot of details and they explained that we human beings, even good human beings, the pious ones, when their sins are, most of the sins are committed by tongue. Because they are pious people, they don't go to those nightclubs, they don't go to those bars. They are not the killers, they are not the looters, they are not the robbers. Meaning the pious people, the good people, the genuine good Muslims are not going to indulge into those kind of sins. Most of their sins are going to be committed by tongue, which is the most difficult thing to avoid. Because we talk, and when we talk, then we exceed the limits. When we talk, we end up lying, we end up spreading rumors, we end up backbiting, we end up with character assassinations, we end up saying things which we don't know exactly, and here we talk about, here we listen, and here we pass it on. So I have seen in the works of some ulama that more than 30 or 35 sins are committed just by tongue. And we don't commit that many sins with our eyes or with our ears or even with our hands or with our feet. So, if someone wants to train himself and herself in the path of taqwa, and if someone wants to be a person of taqwa, so first what we need to do is to control our speech, to control our tongue. And that is why Amirul Mu'mineen begins from here. When he talks about muttaqeen, so he begins from here. The first thing what he says, mantiquhum, mantiq is their speech. From nataqa, yantiqu nutq is to speak. So wamantiquhum as-sawab. When they speak to the point, accurately, based on facts, whether it is in their benefit, whether it is not in their benefit. You know, most of us, it is easy to speak truth when it doesn't hurt you. When particularly if it hurts others, then it becomes very joyful truth. But to speak the truth and knowingly that this truth is going to hurt me and my standing and my interest, and still we speak the truth, that is the test, and that is the important thing. So mantiquhum as-sawab. The word as-sawab, sad, wa, alif and ba. Again, in Arabic, if you get into all the meanings, there are too many. But we can say to the point, based on facts, accurate, right, to be kind of concise on that. The second thing, the second quality of people of taqwa, he says, وَمَلْبَسُهُمْ الْإِقْتِصَادِ. Malbasuhum al-iqtisad, the libas which they wear, the clothing which they use for themselves is always in moderation. People of taqwa, they always try to remain in moderation when it comes to their spending. Although Amirul Mu'mineen is using the word malbas, libas, but then ulama, when they try to explain it further, they say it is just one, it's not only libas. Libas is it explains your whole personality. It explains your policy. It explains your style. It explains your method, your choice. So when he says their libas is in moderation, actually he is talking that their whole lifestyle is in moderation. They are moderate when it comes to spend. They are not extravagant. They don't use their money to just show off and to go among people and put up such kind of libas which is eye-catching, which is attracting their attention, which is impressing other people and saying that, oh, I am very special and there is nobody like me and I am this and I am that. So they don't have that kind of mentality. At the same time, Amirul Mu'mineen is making a very important point which we need to understand. In our understanding, normally as a community, we expect that the people of taqwa should be wearing very kind of old, very cheap kind of libas, which is actually a libas which is torn from here, torn from there. It is not pressed, it is not clean, it is not neat. It is a kind of a libas of faqir. Then they are people of taqwa. But if they are neat and clean and well groomed and their libas is good and it is pressed, then he is somebody showy or somebody of trendy, but he is not a person of taqwa, but he is gari. Amirul Mu'mineen says no. The people of taqwa, they are in moderation. They wear neat, clean, good libas, but they don't do extravagance. They don't show off their money in their libas. They don't show off their position in libas. So they purchase something which is in moderation. They don't wear which has totally no value, and they don't wear libas which is meaning of too high value and eye-catching or something that which draws everybody's necks and everybody's attention to them. They avoid from that. They try to remain in the people and in such a way that they don't draw too much attention. You know, how can we draw too much attention to us? Either if we go to one extreme or we go to the other extreme. But if we remain in the middle, then we don't draw any special attention. And that is actually the best thing. To be like anybody else among the mu'mineen, among muttaqeen, among the people, and don't draw too much attention. So, number 2, malbasuhum al-iqtisad, and they say that it is not only the libas. Yes, he is using the word libas, but if someone puts that kind of libas, then of course this person is going to use the same kind of jewelry, the same kind of glasses, the same kind of shoes, the same kind of, for example, car, the same kind of house, the same kind of everything, because it explains someone's style, someone's mindset. So the mindset is that you want to remain in moderation. Number 3, وَمَشْيُهُمْ التَّوَاضُعُ. And when they walk among the people, they walk humbly. They are humble people. And when they are walking with people, whether in front of them or behind them or on their right or on their left, whatever, their mashi, their walking is with tawadu. They are humble. They are not walking among people in a way that they are trying to dominate others or to claim some kind of superiority over others, showing their strength, showing their muscles, showing their being. They are walking with the people in a humble way. And that again explains their mindset. It's not only that how they walk, it is how they sit. When they enter in any gathering, it is mentioned in ahadith of Rasulullah Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam that a believer, a man of taqwa, when he will enter in any gathering, will sit down wherever he or she will find the place or the space, and will not keep looking for a very elevated and very special place that I have to go and sit on the chair in the center or in the big chair or on a this place or that place. No, you enter and sit wherever you find the space. Yes, it is up to the people who are sitting there from before that if they see a senior member of their family or community joins them and enters in the gathering, now it is their responsibility to offer him a better place to sit and to request him that, sir, you kindly come here and sit here, or you sit here, or give them the chair, or give them the room, or give them the space. But this is a respect which others are supposed to offer. But no one needs to look for it and nobody needs to expect it. When you enter, just sit down wherever you find the spot. And the sunnah of Rasulullah was that whenever he would enter in a gathering, he would just sit down wherever he would find the space. And he would just sit there wherever he would find the space, and he would sit down very humbly wherever there some space was available. Yes, then later on, of course, he had to lead the prayer. He would come and sit in front of them to lead the prayer, or if he had to give khutbah, then he would come to the podium or to the member or to these places. But other than that, while he was among the people, there was no special place for him to sit. He would sit everywhere in the gathering or in the masjid or in the place, wherever he would find the place, he would just go and sit there. So this is also again a mindset. This is a lifestyle. It's not only about walking, but it is about almost everything. وَمَشْيُهُمْ التَّوَاضُعُ غَضُّوا أَبْصَارَهُمْ عَمَّا حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ وَوَقَفُوا أَسْمَاءَهُمْ عَلَى الْعِلْمِ النَّافِعِ لَهُمْ. These people of taqwa, they close their eyes from everything which Allah has made prohibited for them to look at. They have good control of their eyes and their gaze, and they whatever Allah has made haram for them to look at, they never look. And they have dedicated their ears, or they put their ears to some knowledge which is beneficial to them. Meaning, yes, we hear the conversation, but what is their favorite thing where they put their ear? They are always learning, they are seeking knowledge, they are seeking some beneficial information, and that's all what they do. They don't listen to gossip, they don't listen to rumors, they don't listen to vain talks and the useless discussions. They dedicate their hearing or their ears to a beneficial information or beneficial knowledge. The best thing what they get through their ears is the knowledge, and knowledge is also al-ilm an-nafi, that ilm which is useful and which is beneficial, not every knowledge or every information. Every piece of information is not for me, and it's not going to help me. So there are ahadith, al-ilm la yantahi, there is no end to knowledge. You can spend your entire life in learning and it will not end. So be selective. So select that knowledge, that science, that information, that field which is going to help you, which is going to help your family or society at large. So learn what is useful, learn what is beneficial, learn something which you can use later on. Every piece of information is not that important, and don't kill your time and don't waste your energies. Last point, what he makes, he says, and this is again very difficult. Nuzzilat anfusuhum minhum fil bala kallati nuzzilat fir raha. These are the people that you will see them same, whether they are going through trials and hardships and difficulties, or they are going through some good times and their economical conditions or health conditions or family conditions or their business conditions are going high and well. You will see them in both conditions just the same. Meaning they are very sober, they are very kind of people in control of themselves. They are not shallow, they are not weak. When economy is going good, when health is good, when family is all well, everything is in their favor, they don't kind of they don't get out of that modesty. They don't start living in a way which is the way like a show off, too excited, too happy, and too jumping up and down. And then when they have some problems, the health is not well, something is wrong in family, the business is not doing well, the work is not good, they are going through some difficulties, then if you look at them, they are like a poster of, for example, poverty. Or when you look at them, you don't have to even ask them, you just look at them and you know there is something wrong with them. It shows the weak personality. It shows you that you are weak. But if you are a strong person, then in both conditions, you can control your emotions, you can control your body language, and you can control yourself. And that is which is praiseworthy thing. That in both conditions, you are someone that who is able to control your emotions, yourself, and you are not someone that who easily can be, for example, get depressed or under stress and easily can go out of your normal lifestyle and normal way. So this again shows, because all these which I'm going to discuss with you, the qualities which Amirul Mu'mineen is talking about, is painting the picture of someone who is very strong. Because a muttaqi person is not a weak person. A person of taqwa is actually a very strong person, has very strong mindset, has very strong spirit, has very strong and solid character, is very solid and strong in his or her emotions. So Amirul Mu'mineen is talking about all these qualities and encouraging basically his followers to be the people of such qualities and such character. We wish and we hope and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us and grant us the ability where we can take these virtues and these values from our leaders, from people like Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam, and practice these things in our daily life. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. بسم الله محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحليم الكريم، غافر الذنب وقابل التوب وهو الغفور الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وآبائه الكرام متصل الليالي والأيام. أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى: توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا عسى ربكم أن يكفر عن سيئاتكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. وقال الله تبارك وتعالى أيضا: إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون.